Brain Balance today at 801-899-4949. Now in Pleasant Grove.
Welcome back to Studio 5. Strong relationships take work. We know that. And research shows there are certain habits that can have a powerful and a very positive impact on your marriage. Studio 5 contributor Dr. Matt Townsend has focused in on 5 habits healthy couples do regularly. Almost a proven formula of sorts.
Yeah, in fact, tried and tested in the Love Lab from John Gottman, one of the great gurus of marriage work.
He has a love lab.
It's a love lab. It's kind of, it's like an old 70s bar scene. I don't know what it is.
I doubt that, but
it really isn't. But here's the deal. Couple things. Habit number 1.
Yes.
They express gratitude. So they have to, healthy couples express the gratitude for their partner. They see the things that their partner are doing. They see all the activities they're doing, and they express thanks for them. A great activity, we've taught this a million times, I swear, is to just simply write down 3 things a night that you saw your partner do that made you feel loved.
Are these actions? Are these emotions?
It could be, it could be emotions. We'll talk about more emotions maybe in a minute, but more actions like, you know what, thanks for holding my hand at that meeting and that dinner. Thank you for that. Thanks for thinking about me and putting that special note in my lunch. Just little thank yous. Small little things. Because if we notice it, the research shows we know when people are positive and notice the positive, it reinforces positive. When people are negative and only notice the negative, it reinforces negative.
It's the kind of positivity we would fall all over ourselves to offer when we were dating.
Oh, do you remember? Oh, you're so pretty.
Every little thing.
I could just look at you all day.
And then life takes over, and it's easy to start to nitpick about what isn't getting done.
And then what happens is we start to fall into what's called a negative interpreting spiral, where we only look for negative data. Think about it. If you had 100 beautiful flowers and 1 ugly, scary snake, we don't care about 100 flowers. Look for snakes. So when we start to feel threatened or hungry in our relationships, we only look for the negative stuff, and eventually that'll kill the marriage.
Habit number 2 is a good companion to that appreciation. You want us to regularly celebrate the unique strengths of our partner.
Every one of our partners has a unique strength, and we want you to actually pay attention to the things that make your partner special, and it's not just what they do anymore. It's like their trait. It's a personality. It's something about them that you couldn't necessarily find even if somebody else did that thing. It's just, for example, my wife, she is social. She's so social that believe it or not, I don't like it sometimes because I don't want to keep stopping and talking to everybody. Let's just keep going.
Right.
Let's just get in the car and roll up the windows.
And just live in our
drive
little
away.
spaceship.
But I so appreciate it. So when I watch her in action, and you know what's funny? I fell in love with her. I actually fell in love with her because of her mom, who was the most incredible social woman on earth.
Love it.
And now I see that trait in her, and I'm like, holy cow, my kids are so lucky to have a mom that is so socially connected. At her funeral, there will be 10 million people that all love my wife.
So it's not just what your wife is doing, but it's who she is and how she's doing.
And when I pay attention to it and I look at it and I think how it impacts my family and me, I start to appreciate it more. So that's kind of the same idea. Look for the positive, but look for the trait that makes them special. Because you'll notice sometimes that very same trait's the one that drives you crazy. And yet, when we only see it as a crazy negative thing, it doesn't grow and it doesn't make us love it.
I was going to ask how many times in the clients that you coach and work with is that special thing the opposite of who you are.
It's exactly. In fact, that's probably why you married him, because you're attracted to that really special trait, but then that trait is always kind of contrasted by your lack of that trait, and you start to get more negative about it. So start holding those things up.
Habit number 3, you have to explain to me. You want us to make regular bids to connect with your partner. What's a bid?
This goes back to the great John Gottman work in the Love Lab, and what they find is healthy, loving couples consistently have a bid where they invite their partner into their life.
Give us an example.
An example. Oh, wow, look at that really pretty tree. That's a bid for my wife. Now, if I know my wife loves trees, or if I know my wife loves Facebook pages, and I go, oh, honey, look at this really cool Facebook page I found. That's a bid. Now, the research shows that couples that spend a lot of time trying to invite their spouse in to their life, that increases the likelihood that they'll be healthy and strong. That's called a bid. Bid is the constant inviting of your partner into your life. Now, think about it. When you're tired, you're worn out, and you had a baby, heaven forbid, it might be easier to no longer bid and bring your partner in. Or he may not want to come in. And if he doesn't want to come in, we call that a turn, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the bids are where I invite you in. So one of the rules of a healthy couple is consistently invite your partner to connect with you on certain things throughout the day.
I'm thinking of, again, back to dating days. Those are a little more fresh for me than they are for you. But no old implication implied. Yeah, sorry. No, but I think of the details I used to text Mark. You know what I mean about my day. And now I kind of think, oh, not worth bothering. I'll catch him up later.
You're not even inviting him into your day anymore. We do that. It's very easy. It's efficient.
Right.
So then wait, when you have the baby, you're not going to invite. At first, it'll be like, holy cow, just changed the diaper. Wouldn't believe it. Unbelievable. What are you feeding this kid? That'll last about a day. Eventually, you won't even share those little pieces of information anymore. And then notice what happens is our brain starts becoming efficient, but not effective. So now all of a sudden, we're not effectively growing, and I'm never inviting you into the little details of my life. So the next one, this goes hand in hand with the bids. Once somebody bids, you have to turn. Make sense?
Yes.
Meaning, when my wife has a bid, I have to turn toward my partner and connect to her bid.
Respond, react.
Respond. Oh, wow, that is a great Facebook page. I haven't seen that one. Where did you find that? And then she can track it down. If I bid and she doesn't turn, not good. We're in trouble.
Which this bidding and turning comes down to effort, right?
It's all effort.
Daily effort.
And the funny thing is it's subtle and it's easy. If all of a sudden my wife turns when I say something, you know those moments when you're no longer turning,
right?
And your wife's like, "Oh, did you watch this commercial?" And they don't turn.
You're gone. Yeah.
It's a pretty bad sign. But one of the interesting things they found out is couples that were of this love lab that he was testing, 50% of the people that divorced, those that were most likely to divorce were only bidding and turning a third of the time. So when there was a bid, they would only turn to their partner a third of the time. Those that were happily, healthfully married, they turned 90% of the time.
Wow.
So if you would bid more and turn more, it is an indicator that your marriage is going to succeed.
We know the physical aspect of relationships is important, and that touch is important, but you're focusing in on a specific kind of touch, restorative touch.
So how many times do in fact, 90% of the time they say people go to bed without even saying goodnight.
Ouch.
I think it's like 80% of the time nobody even kisses goodnight.
Ouch.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
So what I found is if we could actually find a way in the day to have, I call it restorative touch, where we hold each other long enough that we allow the oxytocin, the chemistry, to kick in. Now, it doesn't have to be like crazy chemistry. It could just be that feeling of warmth and connection. The oxytocin is what a mother feels when she's feeding her child. It's what women might feel when they're having an incredible conversation. So I suggest you hug and have at least a 20-second hug until you feel some restoration of the relationship.
Okay.
Now, how you do that, you don't want to set a bunch of rules. Get over here, we're hugging.
Give me a hug.
And you also don't want it to ever have to lead to anything. The hug should pretty much just remain as restorative. It doesn't need to go anywhere.
Good stuff, Dr. Tanzen. I love it. If a couple finds themselves in a rut, they're stuck, there's a chance now to sit down with one of your coaches for free.
We have free consults, and this is really cool because normally you have to pay for them. But what we'll do is we'll sit down, we spend about 50 minutes with you, we take you through an assessment, and we evaluate you, and we show you where you are in relation to the behaviors that feed and the behaviors that starve. It's all free of charge. Just call our office.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brooklyn.
Coming up next, how to paint a polka dot wall. One viewer's adorable nursery makeover. Next.
When you watch